A toddler refuses to cooperate during a birthday photo shoot. And what happened next has left many people asking, was this discipline or was it simply too much? In a viral video, a little boy appears unable or perhaps simply unwilling to understand what the adults expect of him. There's a photographer trying to get the perfect shot. The mother is visibly frustrated, and somewhere in the background, an unknown voice can be heard appealing to her as she continues to flog the child on his head. Whew, ladies, you know, I don't know if you saw that viral video, and of course we'd like to know what you think of it. And we cannot show you the video clip as well because, of course, it shows violence against a minor. But we'd like you to join the conversation by calling us on 020-1635-2013 or join us live DSTV at channel 164, Twitter us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourViewTVC, and we're streaming live on YouTube. That was such a sad video for me to watch. It was hard video for me to watch. But to be honest, it's not the first time I've seen Nigerian parents use, for me, in my opinion, too much force for something that you can coax a child, persuade a child, or just let it go. What do you ladies think?
When I saw the video, I was just telling myself, hey, I wish I had the energy and the means to do all of the things that come to my mind to do. The first thing would be to set up a school for people before you get married, before you bet a child, so that we will test you to be sure that it'll be okay. A lot of people are okay and they are not aware. Because how do you see a vulnerable person, your child? The picture is for what purpose? For you. It's your ego.
No.
Does the child understand
how can it be for you?
What you are doing? No.
Not for you.
I have been a commercial model for the better part of my teenage years. And when we shoot with children, we understand that, you see this shoot, we're not going anywhere till midnight. Because they're children. They will pet them. They will give them biscuits. They will give them capriccio. They will give them different things. They will make, as in, the camera has to be child-friendly. The cameraman or camera woman, the director has to be like, they understand children, so they will make it, and anyhow you get the shot, you move with it.
Manage it like that.
Once you get a few, because while they are playing and laughing, you'll be able to get a few, you manage it. When I did a shoot a few years back in my house, that's my teenage boy. To get him to smile was a problem. The camera woman had to be a child psychologist. He would tease him, he would laugh at him, he would do this one, he would do that, for where the guy was just burning all through. A few years back, when she came back for another photo shoot, and I saw him, he was a lot more mature and smiling. I was like, you can smile, you know? That's even someone who was already this
big.
So if you don't understand your child, to see that what you're doing, first of all, he did not ask you for it. You are not doing it for him. We always think we're doing it for our children, but we know we're doing it for our ego. Where are you rushing to post this?
Social media, don't tell
picture?
you.
And why must it be now?
Pepper them.
Why don't you allow him sleep? When he wakes up, you can continue. Why do you have to shoot this now? You give him that time. You started hitting. You see the cane. You see the voice. I'm ashamed to say. Somebody said another Igbo woman. I was like, hey, God. Why do we keep doing this
pass that in here
to ourselves? Why? Why do we keep doing this to ourselves? It doesn't make sense. So apparently, she does not understand the child. She doesn't care about the child. It's not about that picture. It's not about the child. Because if it was about the child, I saw another video where it was graduation. A little girl, I think about 2. They do front
lace, waist wig.
Come tie and come wear and cloth. No, so before you know, the girl don't nearly face. I'm like, why all this hassle? Why all this stress? So a lot of people do not understand children. They do not have a love for children. They transfer their real life's aggression and frustration on their children. Many people need to go to school for parenting. Please, this is not it.
It's very heartbreaking when I saw that video. Not every adult should be parents. I think that is clear on the Western world's perspective. That's why some will say, I don't want to have children. Like, I don't think I can
have temperaments for
manage children because it's not every adult. We sometimes feel like it's a right for you because I'm already an adult or I'm married, I should have children. This woman should not have children, because how would you want to celebrate a child's birthday with a photo shoot and then you take a cane and you're flogging his head, like the head? and he won't take a picture. I'm not saying he should not cry, he should smile.
Yes.
Like, is the person okay?
For me, that's slavery.
I don't even think you are normal. I think that you have the lady has a mental problem. I also feel that she's not fit to be a mother. In the proper society that we have a welfare system and there's child care, we would have been able to take that child away from that house. Immediately, that child will not go back to that house anymore, and that woman should be prosecuted. But what can we do? The poor boy, for picture, like, you know, there's some little things. I had another maid. My kids always don't like eating maybe beans or a kind of soup. They don't want bone inside it, or like there's a black stuff there. My former maid will now bring cane. I say, if it's food, I'll sit down with them. We'll be speaking the English, until they eat the food. Like, why would you threaten them? You don't need to threaten them with cane for them to eat. We will talk them through it. But our natural reaction here is, if you don't agree with me, I will fight you. You must agree with me. You must do what I want exactly the way I want it. We're very aggressive. We're very, very domineering, and we feel like our own way is the only way. And that is where we see there. And I feel like the photographer could have done more. I know that there was a bit of move to help, but you would have shut down that shoot. You cannot have cane on the shoot for a baby. You should not. It should not even be. It shouldn't be part of the things. You have cookies, you have sweets, you have biscuit, things to soften the environment. Like, not to now put cane as a way to compel obedience. Compelling obedience through cane. No, that is very, very wrong. Not age appropriate. Not mental health appropriate. And what about brain damage? When you hit like that on the head over and over again, something is happening over there to the child. You raise a child in violence, you wonder why the child grows up and the child is beating everybody on the streets. What did you use to raise that child? It's very worrisome. We see it in adulthood. I'm just so grateful. Oh, man, mommy, daddy, God bless you. You try for me, because I cannot even imagine the kind of things that, how naughty I am. When my children do something, I'm like, my man, I was taking milk. I finished milk. I finished tin of milk. So don't beat my children for taking milk, because my parents did not beat me for taking milk in the house. They understood this is where breeze is blowing to today. Please, let's not take out our frustration on our children.
Chika,
so I think it then means that we really need to check this child and check that the child is really okay. Yeah. Because I think that this just opens the curtains. You can only begin to imagine. I feel like this is scratching the surface on what this child has been going through. Because imagine a joyous moment that's supposed to be a celebration. I know I don't celebrate birthdays, but I know how people who do take it seriously. You know, it's a moment of joy. The parents are spending cash, doing all of this fanfare. And if that kind of, in the process of doing that fanfare, you're meting out such injustice, such harm on that child. I can only imagine if that child goes ahead to do something that's perceived as wrong to that mother. You can only imagine what that mom would do. And I think that this is it's a learning curve for all of us, because you see, and I speak even for myself, I know that my daughter and I have had conversations where she has brought to the fore some of my inadequacies and some of my mistakes, and I have to be humble enough to accept it. Because you see, as African parents, the way that we're wired, we were wired watching our parents raise us. That wired us. And I know how my mom raised me. My mom pushed me down the stairs, did everything. Discipline. Some of those things, to some lower extent, I did to my child. And now that she's grown, we're having conversations. She's pointing these things out to me. The natural instinct is for me to want to justify and, but reading things like this now, it makes me go back and think and say, oh, there are certain situations I should have done things better, and going forward I want to do. So we need to hold each other's hands and hold each other accountable for how we're raising children. When we see that kids are being raised in a way that is harmful, we need to speak up. We need to do all that we can to ensure that these children are protected. Because like Tokpe has said, hot children, hot people. And so this vicious circle, I don't know when it ends, but this is really sad to see that every birthday that comes around, how do you think this child
is traumatized?
Would he look forward to it, or what's traumatized?
Looking forward. Talking about this just reminded me 2 occasions. I remember one time I wanted, was a photo shoot for my son. My son is not a stand here and take a picture. He likes, at least at the time, he will do his stuff. what I would call funny angles, things that don't make sense. Open his legs so wide, be doing Superman, you know, those sort of things. And I was saying to him, please. Even at that time, yes, I must admit I was frustrated, but I didn't raise my voice because I knew to raise my voice would make it worse, you know. But, you know, we sort of came to a compromise. I said to him, okay, give me 5 of my own poses, and then the rest you can do. Ladies and gentlemen,
it works.
Years later,
he prefers
the
those
pictures that are more interesting to watch and enjoy
are
the ones that he was his
spontaneous
himself. Imagine.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes, we're not letting our children be themselves. And we laugh about it, and we say, "Do you remember?" And he is saying now, because he's older, he's like, "Oh, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe." But it's more interesting than the one he was standing and looking like a portrait,
looking like you. Because it was you that wanted that.
Yes. So we need to allow our children be. Being a child is not being a mini you. It's allowing them to express themselves and enjoy those moments that they're expressing themselves. Because they
will come to treasure it years down the line.
Yeah, and then the second time I did a photo shoot for my daughter, I remember going to do that. There was lots of things that were not going right, you know. And I remember saying, I am not going to have her see that part that is not working, because I do not want to spoil this moment for her. This is an important time for her. I want her, when she remembers the day and how she prepared to go there, it was something that, you know, it's a memory that she would always enjoy. I remember being so intentional about that. Not like anyone taught me, but I just felt that, you know, for children, there's some things that are like core memories for them, and it's important to protect it. Yeah. So honestly, when I see parents get frustrated to the point that they're beating toddlers, it's scary. But to be honest, in Nigeria, we see it so many times.
You know why that happened? So you were able to change. There are two things that happen. Our environment nurtures us, right? Many people who are this way with children is what they received. And because they are not in a perpetual state of being self-aware, they are not on a journey of self-development. They carry on, I call it trauma, of what they received, thinking that was what made them who they are today, and they pass it on. My daughter said something to me recently, and she said, Mommy, I'm so happy that you are intentional about not passing your trauma to us. Yeah. I looked at her. I've not discussed my trauma with her, but she could feel that there's an intentionality with how I want to handle them, how I want to do things, how I take my time to explain to them, how I bring them up to my level for an understanding, and we come to a compromise. And when she said that, I just kept quiet. I was like, which trauma I don't show this girl now where she take no, you know? But that hit something, and that told me that I have tried. Because if I juxtapose where I'm coming from and where they are, I have really done the work. Now, the difference, why you were able to, you know, understand that this child, just let her have her moments, is because you are constantly working. You may have come from a place where you didn't have trauma. That's one hand. You may also have come from a place like me with so many traumas, but I was able to say, this is not what I want to pass on. Now, many parents are not in that space of self-awareness. They do not observe their children. They do not understand their children. They do not even care about that. And they think, maybe I turned out well. My child will turn out well anyhow I go about it. And that's why I said, that school, I have to open it. Because you need to understand that children should be allowed to be children. So that you don't go and shrink what will make them tomorrow. Let's leave it there.
Let's go on a short break. When we return, we'll continue with our conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank you for staying with us. So, you know, we're talking about just our culture of what people would call, you know, way of raising children. But some of us have interpreted it as violence. I mean, we always have that conversation. Is it gentle parenting or is not gentle parenting? We hear things like, I gave my child a default setting slap. You know, or I gave my child a resetting brain. And then for when you hear some of the things that the children did and you're wondering why a conversation couldn't have handled that, or just giving them something to do, like a chore to do, instead of hating the child. Why is this our culture? Is it time for us to let it go? Or is there a fear that we may just be going into what we call gentle parenting and the challenges of that, which is raising children that are not respectful or hardworking? Those are our fears when we talk about gentle parenting.
So in talking about culture, it's the harmful, excessive parts that I think we need to let go. I'm not going to completely abandon my culture because it has its place. And when you look at kids in the Western world, then you will see for a certainty that our cultures have their place. So in administering discipline, there are lots of factors you have to consider. The age of the child, the extent to which this discipline is administered. I believe that there's a place and time for, in a symbolic sense and in a literal sense, the use of the rod, right?
Yeah.
Depending again on what has been done, the reoccurrence of this same action, the child's attitude, and what that discipline will serve ultimately. You see, there are cases where a default setting slap is required, depending on the age of the child and the nuance, the disposition and the predisposition of the child, and the gravity and the reoccurrence. A child that I have spoken, I have reasoned, I have tried to break it down by fine prints, consequences, actions. I have done all of that, and the child can take the hits. Children will test you, and that's the truth. You know, I say this on the table all the time. Children will test you. They see you, they prod you a little bit, watch to see how you react, and you take it lying low. They move it an inch further, and then you take it lying low, and they keep moving the bar. And all of a sudden, the lines are blurred. Are you a parent or a friend? So I am a parent, and make no mistake, that line will never be crossed. By whichever way that does not cause harm, of course. So there is a place and time for administering stiff discipline. There's a place and time, of course, for being able to reason and reach, and I think that's where the biggest work is. Being able to reach the heart of the child. I say this because I have tried both methods.
Does a toddler
on my child
need
definitely kind of no. Of course,
she already said by no harm.
Age. I said age also. Remember I said depend on the age. So a toddler.
I just want us to...
You have to speak toddler language. Now. You have to do toddler things with a toddler. But when a juvenile wants to tell you that they have come of age that they can stand, you show them the other side of you sometimes.
Now you came of age before them.
Hi.
Oh my goodness, this is my people. When we talk about culture, the thing is you will not do what you were not taught how to do. You cannot give what you don't have. You know, so if all you've been given is violence is the way to raise well-groomed children, if all you've been given, the template you'll be given is, I have to beat this child to conform. If not, the child will go crazy and be indisciplined. That's what you will do. What we see, on the other hand, is the few percentage of the very enlightened people have now swung extreme other way. That they're now doing very permissive parenting where there is no structure, no boundaries, no discipline. We've seen it in the Western world where there's no form of discipline. A large group of parents don't know how to put boundaries in place, and you have children talking back, cursing at their parents, and the parents are overwhelmed because the child can go and call the police. You know, you have children threatening their parents to call the police on them as young as in their less than 10, and there are even those that have called police at less than 10. Like this one, the story, the person called the police took the child, and the parents said, I'm not going to come and collect you. After she stayed there, let them be. After she stayed there for a while, she now came back because the child knows that mommy cannot beat me, and the mommy too knows that I cannot beat you. So now, and they went from Nigeria over there. It was a major culture because the society in trying to protect children from this kind of abuse has swung the extreme other way. So we need to re-educate ourselves. This was saying school for parents. You know, we go through antenatal and they teach us how to take care of the child, how to wash the child. I think that as we're doing the antenatal, maybe they should be saying, don't beat your child, or when your child becomes a toddler, like that, the little thing, because
when we teach that in Nigerian hospitals,
they need to know.
Maybe the nurses.
I'm saying the nurses.
Let me tell you something. Inside labor room, I was in the labor room, and I gave it in general hospital, and the woman, I was traumatized on her behalf. I wanted to push, and I did not. I was trying to, because the woman that pushed, the way they smacked her bum, as in I smacked
at that time.
It was loud. I just held myself.
You're going through.
And the nurse was like, you want to kill the baby? And all of that, you know. So, yes, I understand. Violence is our resource here, and we need to undo it little by little by educating carrot and stick approach, kinetic and non-kinetic. So, punish those that they don't get head, and then educate others so that they don't get into that space.
Okay, we have a call. Bulus is calling us from Jos. Good morning, Bulus.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
We're happy to have you.
Yeah, I want to contribute for the first topic.
Please go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to contribute for the first topic.
Go ahead.
I think for the testimony that I gave, that you people are talking about, I'm in the opinion to say that is very right. Because what Tokwe said is, out of 100, you can find only 5 that can be boldly to testify what they have done to their partner, to their spouse.
Yes.
So, to me, it takes a bold step to give testimony and change someone from the inside, not just what people will say. You don't mind what people will
say about them. Thank you so much, Bulus, for your contribution.
Back to our
yes, you had wrapped up, Abby. So, for me, I know that culturally, and I can't pinpoint when that culture evolved into beating. I can't really pinpoint.
Okay.
Yes, because we didn't have those stories back in the day in our different cultures of they will beat you, they will beat you, they will beat you. Yes, I can't. Anybody who is maybe a cultural student can tell us at what point did we now become these violent people? We were not like this before. We had empathy embedded in our culture. But I can't say at what point. Would I say it's frustration? Would I say it's a lack of understanding ourselves? Would I say it's because we have begun to see ourselves as separate from each other? I can't tell exactly when, but we are where we are now, where everything is bus. Everything is you have to raise your voice to get things done. Everywhere you go, if you don't shout at certain people, they will not move. You know, we have normalized it as a way of life. We can't change it. We can begin to change it. And that will take a lot of information. Understanding the makeup of a little child, for instance. Their brain is still developing. There are beatings that have truncated growth in different aspects. So people need to be educated. Now, our mental health too, we need to test ourselves. We need to be truthful because we're not in a culture that we say the truth. We hide everything under religion. No, just bad temper. We excuse a lot of things that we need to pay attention to and study. There was a time I felt like my son was triggering me so much. Like he was just being himself. He argues about myself. When he engages me in a conversation like that, and he'll be coming with points back to back, and I'll be feeling triggered. And then one day he says, "Mommy, we're just having a conversation. I don't know why you're triggered."
I feel triggered.
I'm triggered. Okay, can we have this conversation later? I now went in, I sat down and said, what is triggering me? And that's because I have the capacity to retrospect. And then I started checking, okay, do I feel like my authority is being challenged? Do I feel this is coming from here? Is this coming from a place of fear? Or is it leading to disrespect? I now started paying attention and I realized it's just fear of my authority being challenged. And I was not listening to him and what he was saying. And he was making a good point. So when it has passed. Now we get to a point where if I feel like, you are beginning to...
There's a line
there's a line here saying, calm down, we'll come back and have this conversation properly and you address me well. So he gets it now. But at that time, it was like 10, 11, 12 when we had that friction.
But they are also learning.
And that's
they learn by that.
Yes, they also learn by those interactions. And when they were younger too, it was a different interaction, like you rightly said. You have to put yourself to speak their language. And maybe the Montessori I studied also helped me
you have the knowledge,
to know.
You cannot even compare yourself with these people.
How do we get more people to
have this
knowledge, to open up to say we don't know, because that's the thing. Everybody believes I know better.
It's communal, BC. I think that it's communal.
I don't have.
Your temperament is different.
Your
temperament is different.
But communal. So we take ownership. We educate one another. Mama, they do that kind of thing. Because you go beat the sense come off for the pikin. No, maybe you just rest. So all of us step in to support the other person that does not know and educate that person, not to judge, but to correct and ensure that damage does not happen to the child. Enough of looking the other way. Like there was always violence since, but we did not have people looking the other way. When we see that this woman always beats children, they will go and collect the child from the woman. Community will come and collect the child. No kill him, no kill him. No worry, we go help you correct. So
your grandma will stand in front of you.
So we had community, but now we don't have that much
their business.
Community.
Because if they come and talk, you say no, now you're picking.
BC was talking about your business. Beating. We are beating creativity out
of them.
Our creativity, what we can do, how creative Nigeria could have been. What we are seeing now is just a percentage of what we have capacity for. If they did not beat creativity and thinking come up from us that do this like this, do it exactly like this. So the appeal is let us step in and educate everyone around us. Educate your maid. Tell your maid to educate their own friends, because this is happening more on the grassroots level than even as higher up, even though I know it's happening up too. Let's just please spread the word and stop tolerating. When your husband slaps you, your child too is seeing it. So when you're tolerating all of these things, you are educating. You are creating a system that educates what is wrong.
It's not the ministry for her to collect.
It's supposed to be our cross.
Yes, different women have different ministries.
Exactly. A few seconds left. I would like you to give us tips on what you think is the best way to handle a frustrated child during a photo shoot. Stick to the point.
Okay, so there are different things you can do for a toddler who is and you are frustrated because the toddler isn't cooperating.
Yes.
You know their love language, right? Does the child like to sing nursery rhymes for them? Do they like sweets? You can take a break. You can take a walk, and come back with fresh eyes. The child too will come back with fresh eyes. Does the child need to take a nap? Maybe the child is even hot.
Yes.
I don't know. I didn't check their pampers. Troubleshoot and try different things. Yes. Promise them. I don't know. The things that appeal to their heart. You are the mother, for Christ's sake.
And then advice to photographers that do photo shoots for children.
What choose?
So I feel she could have, I don't know her capacity. Maybe she's like the assistant, or maybe she's not the owner of that place.
Yeah.
But a reasonable person would have stopped that woman, stopped the photo shoot.
Good.
Madam, that's not how we treat our customer here. The child is the client.
Customer,
that's not how we treat our clients here. Take the child out, go and play with the child, befriend the child, and you get what you want. Children are very easy.
Photographers, I don't know if all Nigerian photographers know, but the way they do it now, even Nigeria, movies will be playing, music will be playing, snacks everywhere.
Toys will be in the studio.
Toys will be everywhere. Gisting is happening. Please don't go and put children in one spot and say, stand there. It does not
like
work.
Soldier.
Enough is enough. And stop hitting our children on the head. It does not make sense. Stop hitting toddlers especially. There are different ways to handle children at different ages. Tokwe, would you like to say a few words?
I'm just going to appeal, because sometimes we're trying to do things for social media. BC had mentioned something, and this wig, frontal, braids, pulling the skull. I'm appealing. Please, let's just tone it down and let kids be kids. And if a child doesn't want to take a picture, leave it and capture them in the natural state, like you mentioned. They'll be happy about it. Government, please help us check on this child. I beg. Help us check on the mother and the child so that they get the necessary help that they need and they can, not do this again.
All right, ladies, thank you for a fantastic show.
Yes.
Viewers, hope you enjoyed today's show as much as I did.
I did too.
So much. We'll see you tomorrow for another interesting episode. Bye for now.